Welcome to Saturday versus Sunday. I'm Geoff Dover. With me is John Barban. Let's talk football.
Start spreading the news. Jameis Winston's in New York. I love this guy.
In the Big Apple. Me too.
He's so much fun. I don't care how the record. I mean, some of the posts are really funny. It's like, get ready for him to throw for 5,300 yards, 47 TDs, 38 interceptions, and go 4-13. And I can't wait for it. The guy's so much fun.
Yeah. No, I mean, listen, he's got an interception problem, which is sort of explains the salary. I thought that was, is it $8 million for 2 years? So that's $4 million a year. Is that what it is?
Yeah.
That has to be one of the lowest NFL QB salaries that I'm aware of.
For a starter, for someone who's probably going to be the starter, I guess.
Even a backup. I think most backups make more than that. I don't know, but it's a crazy low number. And it's like you said, it's mostly because of the interceptions. But he was just the other, like I pulled his stats up.
Mm-hmm.
Like he threw for 2,000 yards last year. Like it's in not starting all the games, it's not terrible. It was just 5 years ago. He threw for 5,000 yards. Now that year he had 33 TDs and 30 interceptions.
And he said no one else will ever break that record because they don't have the confidence. How can you not love this guy? I'm not saying he's going to win very many games, but man, is he ever fun to watch.
No, I think
you don't know what you're getting.
No, I think this is an excellent pick for the Giants. I mean, it costs basically nothing. And he has the potential to throw for a lot of yards and some TDs, and you're going to get interceptions, but he's going to make something happen, which is frankly the Giants have needed for some time.
Unless God delivers him from the pick sixes. Remember he said that after the Broncos game where he threw two of them.
I know. He had 8 in 3 games, which was pretty rough.
He's just hilarious. But he's just great for media.
Well, and what do you think? This was the thought I had as soon as I saw that. Right now, who would you, if you had a game today, who would you want to start for you? Winston or Daniel? Like Daniel.
Oh, Daniel Jones?
Yeah, Daniel Jones.
Oh, man. It's tough.
I know.
I think you end up in the same spot, but you have more fun doing it with Winston.
Yeah, I think the upside's higher with Winston. Like, can he throw the backbreaking interception? Sure, but he can make all the throws and he can move the ball. Like, so I don't know. So for me, I think it's a great pick by the Giants. You get a veteran who can make it happen. He's extremely mistake prone.
Mm-hmm.
It feels like that'd be something you can fix, but let's face it, you lead the league in interceptions.
No, it is what it is.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It is what it is. But I mean that, I think it's, I'm going to stop short of saying it's better than Aaron Rodgers here, but it's,
I think Rodgers would have been better.
Yeah. But I mean, they're not a good team. So if they don't do well, it's not going to be solely his fault.
So do you think this gives us any insight into what they're doing in the draft? Are they going to draft a QB or are they going to wait a year and go for the next year's QB class and just concede this year's? Because right now, you know what the QB room looks like? Jameis Winston and Tommy Cutlets.
Yeah, exactly.
That? I should have worn my Tommy Cutlets shirt.
Oh, you had that too, didn't you?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, and he's Cutlets has shown flashes too, right?
A little bit here and there. He was really fun for that little bit in that one year.
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't know. I don't know what
Put it this way, thinking. Neither of these guys are the future. We know that. It's just when.
Yeah, you take the QB early or later. That's the only question, right? Because
I think they draft QBs this year. They should draft QBs this year, next year. Not necessarily a high pick QB this year, because I think that the talent at QB seems to be, if you take one in the second or third round, you're going to get roughly the same thing as if you took one in the first round. We've always liked the sleeper. We've talked about that. We'll do more when we approach the draft, but we like some of the QBs that be picked later on in this year's draft. So so we're always for the take someone else and then get a QB in the second or third round because we like those guys. So, but yeah, I think they'll for sure have to take a QB. It'll either be in the first round or the second round, but that's a great question. What do you think the Giants are going to do? I don't know what to say they're going to do because I didn't think they should have got rid of Barkley, and that was really eye opening. Those clips about the, I'm gonna not like it if he goes to the Eagles. Be like, well, that's So I'm not sure what their management's thinking with that stuff, but it's you need a warm body.
at a QB. Like they only had one on the roster before that.
Yeah.
This cost them so little money, but this guy can physically throw the ball around. Like he had was it last year or the couple years ago where he threw for 497 yards one game.
Yeah.
So
Is he the only QB who could be put in a the New York Giants of all teams, media environment, and could lose 14 games and somehow still be a darling? Is
maybe,
he
I
like
mean,
the only guy in the league that could be that charming, but play that volatile?
yeah, I mean, we like him, and we like him in the media and stuff. I don't know. The New York media is pretty harsh, and
That's a
I
good
don't
point.
know what it's going to be like after, once you've got like lost that like 6 in a row to get to, like to get to 14. Like I don't know what what the questions or the vibes going to
I'm
be
just
like in the
wondering
room, and
if he's likable enough that the Giants fans can accept this is a holding pattern. We're building up the roster with draft picks, and we're banking on next year's draft,
yeah,
right?
I
And that somehow a losing season with Winston is more of it's like an entertaining, fun-loving losing season
yeah,
versus another slog with Daniel Jones or like Russell Wilson or Rodgers. Like it's like you're kind of
yeah.
pathetically think you have it, whereas here it's like, oh no, we know we're not making the playoffs with Winston, but we're gonna have a ball with him at quarterback.
Yeah, I think that's definitely the feeling for the first 8 games. And then,
Okay,
like
yeah,
when you're
right.
2-6 or something, I think the shine comes off the apple at that point.
Yeah, and then it's whoever else is in that QB room that might get a shot. I mean,
Yeah,
you never know. Like the thing is, Brock Purdy is a reminder that you could land your franchise QB with a late
later.
round pick. That's
Mhm.
he's
A lot of
now,
people picked ahead of Mahomes too. So,
12, right? He went 12 or something. 11
yeah,
teams
like
passed on him. I mean, and
yes,
they all
that's
feel
what I
like
mean.
idiots now for doing it, right? So Lamar Jackson went what 30th, 28th,
Mhm.
something like that. A lot of teams passed on Lamar Jackson. So I mean, Tom Brady is the now people would say, oh yeah, but that happened a long time ago. But Brock Purdy's very recently last
Mhm.
pick, been
Yeah,
to the
there's
Super
still
Bowl.
outliers. It's still
Yeah,
like it's
that's why I think you pick a QB with somewhere in the draft. You just if you got it, you got to keep trying, especially for teams like this, who it's been a while.
yeah.
Like I just saw an article saying uh how many QBs the Dolphins have been through since
Mhm.
Marino, since the last time they made it to the Super Bowl.
It's a high number.
It's like 20 something QB. Like
Yeah.
some of these teams, or the Cleveland Browns, some of these teams have been in a drought for decades and decades. And then you get a
Mhm.
team like Green Bay who just replaces a star QB with a star QB 3 times in a row. And it, but so it's not obvious that you're ever going to land one no matter what pick you have.
Mhm.
So it makes sense that if you're in this cycle of you don't know what you've got at QB or you have no proper solution at QB, you should take one every year, no matter what round it is, even the last pick of the draft, somebody, because you just don't know if you're going to be the next team to land the Brock Purdy,
Mhm.
especially
Well,
without spending any money and any major capital
it's
on it.
hard. Like they get the NFL, there's a lot of people on the team, and you need a lot of help at a lot of places and you want depth and stuff like that. So it's hard to draft someone that is not going to play or not going to be the starter for a bit. Like it's because you need help now in other positions. But yeah,
Yeah,
ideally that'd be the best is to always take someone late round and because you never know if it's going to hit.
I think I'm more and more convinced that now maybe this is the least innovative take of all, but if you don't have the star QB, it just doesn't matter what's going on the rest of the team, save for a generational defense once every 20 years,
Mhm.
like the Bears or the Ravens. I saw a crazy stat about how good the Dallas Cowboys offensive line has been in the last 15 years. It's 15 or 20 years, like for a really long stretch of time, they've had at least 2 Pro Bowlers on offensive line every year.
Mm.
And in many cases, you could say they have the best offensive line or the top 5 for sure.
Mhm.
And yet they haven't made the NFC Championship game in 30 years.
Mhm.
So you could say, yeah. I mean, yes, you build from within. You got to dominate the trenches, but that hasn't worked for the Cowboys at all. It just
Mhm.
doesn't matter if your offensive line's that good. If you just don't have the guy at quarterback, you can have the best offensive line in the league, and it just still doesn't matter. Which, like, one school of thought is no, the offensive line. Any decent quarterback can make it behind a great offensive line, but they're the case of that's not true at all.
Mhm.
So it's
there's a lot of layers to being successful in the NFL. It takes, you've got to have a couple of rookies that really hit it, because then you don't have enough money to pay everyone high salary. So that there's a lot of different things. So how do you think Winston's gonna? So do you think this moves to make does this move make the Giants better?
No, it makes them more fun. It makes them more fun to watch.
Okay.
I think it makes them more, because last year they were just, as soon as I saw them on the schedule, I thought, do we have to do this even for the podcast? Like, I just can't watch this garbage. Malik Neighbors was amazing.
Yes.
But you just knew they were going to lose. You knew they weren't going to matter in their division. They weren't going to matter in the NFC. Even though they have certain individual talents on the team, it's almost a shame to watch a player as good as Neighbors think, all right, his first 4 years are going to be wasted on this team. Like, he isn't getting, it's just, God, man, they're bad to watch. So I think they're just going to be fun to tune into. Like, now I'm already like, oh, a Giants game will be kind of fun with Winston. No matter what happens, it's going to be a circus with him there. The way he plays and his personality on camera and on the microphone, it's just a circus in all directions. So they immediately become more fun to watch. But in that division, the Eagles and the Commanders are just head and shoulders above them. And I mean, who knows what you get with the Cowboys? Like, the Cowboys are just going to be the Cowboys. So they'll probably beat them
you're
too.
right. It does make it. It's amazing how much that's happened in the offseason this year. Like some of the moves, I'm like, oh, that makes that team more interesting, and this is in that category. Like, it's I think it was a good move by them. So.
Yeah, they're going to be interesting to watch, but I don't think they're going to win very many more games.
No,
I don't even think they're going to get to 500.
No.
So, all right,
tough division, they're missing at a lot of positions, not just QB. So
the major thing I'm curious to see is how it changes how they manage the draft. With him there, is he really meant to be the starter for this whole year? I think we'll find out right away if they use a high pick.
Yeah, it gives them options now. Like they could use a QB at a high pick, or they could get someone later. Like I don't think it changes the plan. Like, it's going to be Winston or Cutlets to start at the beginning, and then so they don't have to throw the rookie in like day one. So I think that's probably what the plan would be. So, but they had one of the. They had a really bad defense. Like they gave up more points than every other team in the NFC North, and most in the South too, except
what about the East in their division?
It was the third worst out of 4 teams.
Right. So they just have holes to fill all over the place.
Yeah. But it was mostly the offense. They had the worst offense in the entire NFC.
Yeah. Okay. So. Yeah. Oh, so that's it. They just have to fix the offense and the defense. Starting with Jameis Winston. Oh, they're going to be fun to watch. Okay. You got anything else?
No, that's good.
All right. We'll catch you guys later.